snitching for you. I love a good jam. And I'm S-I-N-G-L-E again. Outside hanging out the window with my ratchet ass friends. Let's go!
Go, Karen.
Let's go!
Karen.
Don't let my snitching fool you.
Hell, I don't know no Jackson. I know Ben Frankie. What the hell? Gotta take my pills. I get too cranky. What the hell? And the S5 and the S80. What the hell? How you going drills and I would still make it? What the hell? Send us straight to hell. Nigga come playing. What the hell? I done bought his life. BBQ gon' take it. What the
Welcome, welcome. I had to come in hot. Let's just add one more part to that since I was mute. Y'all already know I do apologize for my delay, but let's just do this right here because this is our signature.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
You already know what we'll do if we unite. We will shut shit down. And tonight, we're going to just have to make an announcement. Dolton continues to keep the streets buzzing. So what you saw was a video that came in on Dolton Politics, actually the night after I did my last live. And what we were talking about, some of the unresolved issues that's going on in Dolton. And you know I've been pushing to get this police station looked at, you know. And then you wake up to, let's just play it one more time. You wake up to this, okay? This is what I woke up to.
hell? I don't know no Jackson. I know Ben Frankie. What the hell? Gotta take my pills. I get too cranky. What the hell? And the S5 and the S80. What the
So we're going to stop right there because I got the full clip on TikTok. So what's troubling about that clip is that is allegedly and not allegedly an officer of Dolton. And when I was doing my little research and when I have it on the reels, y'all, thank you for watching and hitting the like on the reels, keeping us in there. The name was Clark. And I was like, Clark. So, you know, I have the list, the DJ list, and there is a female officer by the name of Kay Clark, female. And she has been employed since 2022. So what we're going to do is just show you this video. And this highlights how some of the officers behave in Dolton, because what you see here is unnecessary, really unnecessary. So this is the full 2-minute clip. Let's see if we can watch it.
And the S80. What the hell? How you going drills and I would still make it? What the hell? Send us straight to hell. Nigga come playing. What the hell? I done bought his life. BBQ gon' take it. What the hell? This a new Chevelle.
I just feel like, when the fuck is we finna get a break, y'all? They is out here wilding again in Illinois once again. Okay, they out here pointing guns at the motherfucking kids now, y'all. I know I ain't fucking tripping, G. Like, I'm going through my For You page and it just got posted. Like, these kids getting out of school, the motherfuckers is upping a gun on kids, G. Like,
Use the language. I'm gonna let her express herself, but this is how people feel because these kids were allegedly coming out of school and dispatching, and I don't know the full context, but when you look at the video, you can see the male officers looking kind of like chill, relax, and they actually intervened. So I'm going to say shout out to the male officers that were out there because it looked like they intervened and kind of like made her put.
What the hell? I done bought his life. BBQ gon' take it. What the hell? This a new Chevelle.
Look, hold on. She don't got the full clip. I want y'all to look at the clip that I have. And you'll see that it looks like the officers actually tried to, intervene, the male officers, to stop this lady from behaving like that. Allegedly, Miss Clark.
Hell, I don't know no Jackson. I know Ben Frankie. What the hell? Gotta take my pills. I get too cranky. What the hell? And the S5 and the S80. What the hell? How you going to I would still make it. What the hell? Send us straight to hell. Nigga come playing. What the hell? I done bought his life. BBQ gon' take it.
this is exactly the tone that I believe they had towards Lexis. And I'm going to put that on the screen because I just want to remind you guys that the butterfly release is coming up July 27th. And we do ask you guys if you would like to be part of the butterfly release. And if you don't know this story, I'll just, remind the audience that her untimely death was related to crazy actions of the Dolton police, such as what you saw. So this will be the 4th butterfly release. And if you would like to donate $4 for a butterfly, that would be amazing. You can leave a note and you can put a butterfly in the comments. Okay. So we're going to keep you posted on that. But we wanted to show you what is the proceeds of this gargoyle. No, you know who she like? The Grinch. Why is she looking like the Grinch over there, smiling, looking all crazy? But these are some of the officers that worked under her. And one of the cases that I brought up last week, because today what we're going to do is just kind of highlight a synopsis of the case. We got them all lined up. But what I'm going to do is, since there's so many and I have to go into them in detail, and we're going to break those details up and we're going to just read the new case to you guys. Which the new case actually involves short arm Lacey. Okay. Yes. Involved in the case that we'll be reading to you today that involves Wilma Famous Barbecue. It's a jerk chicken restaurant. So we'll bring that on the screen, but it's still a little bit more that I want to show you because the block is hot. It's some things still need to be cleaned up. Now, came across this because this is okay. I believe that the case that we're reading today, it has something to do with citations that's given to the people. And also I'm going to disclose something to you today because we're going to have to deep dive on the South Side. We're going to talk about it for a second. But this video was uploaded by Ryan. We're not going to play the whole video. It's like a 2-hour video. And basically he's showing what's going on in Harvey. And I'm giving you an example because this thing is happening everywhere where they're just ticketing people. So he's saying that this was traffic court. It was chaos. It was a zoo. And I have experienced that out here because out here we have a freight train. In the town that I'm in the county we in, anybody knows if you go to Henry County Court, you're paying tickets, period. They don't negotiate. They don't do none of that. They're going to burn you, make sure you pay money. Yeah, that part. So they're doing the same thing to you guys. So I just wanted to share this because it kind of go into the flow of the case that we're going to read because that person receives citations and it's also going to go with the flow to what I'm going to have to keep y'all update because there's other things going on in police stations that we really don't like. But let's just play a little bit of this. Shout out to Ryan. I'm going to put this down there if y'all interested in watching the full 2 hours, but we're just going to play it for a second.
From as many people as they can.
They give me just for driving and truck. It's an allowed truck in the street.
Because I just came to pay for a permit, and I saw you'll see the lines are so long, and I was like,
right here. You said you were the one that shared it, Adults in Politics, Traylon, and I'm saying your name right. If you were, shout out to you because I woke up to that video of her pulling the gun on a child. And I said, bam, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So I will hope that the commission that they're getting together, that board, that they're going to get rid of some of these officers and do some deep evaluation. So if that's you who shared it, shout out to you because I didn't verify the name. I usually verify and then put the person's name at the bottom. So blessings to you and blessings to everyone in the audience. Thank you for being with us. Keep doing what you do because that's something else that I want to share because I'm gonna say I told you so, but I'm gonna let this play because there's something else going on in Dolton politics that I'm paying attention to. But yeah, I'm gleaning over here.
Like, what is this? So I'm gonna catch it on film because this is crazy. Wow. Hi.
Are you guys here all for tickets?
You know what? I cover a lot of stuff for Harvey, local stuff, and so I came to pick up a permit, and I said I'm going to film because this is crazy. Apparently, this is all for traffic court.
Wow.
Like this is and I was telling people it's a scam. Like, fight your tickets. The city is trying to scam you out of money. This is not even about safety. I'm sorry.
Now it's weird because I'm telling you, it be God. Because sometimes I be wanting to give up. I be over it. But it's always, it just come together like a puzzle. So yesterday, a few days ago, I received anonymous update about Dixmoor police. Okay. Now I was told, I've been hearing a lot about Dixmoor police station, how they, and y'all know I talk one way about police. I tell the truth, but I got to tell the truth that they're very understaffed. Dixmoor is not that small. I believe they have over 50,000 residents. I would assume. Don't quote me because I didn't pull it up. But what that goes to say, usually on any given shift, they have no more than 2 to 3 police on the beat in Dixmoor. So I'm highlighting this because we're going to be doing some future broadcasts where we're going to put all these police departments together because some way, somehow they are connected. Okay. So in this particular anonymous that I was, updated about was not only that they told me about the car issue. Is another issue. So you got 2 to 3 police on the beat for any given shift. And then they have only 2 active working police cars. I believe it's 2 or 3. Now, this is the issue. This is where it gets worse. And this is what I'm about to tell y'all because I don't care. I don't care because I'm definitely about to be a Karen over here. Give me something to report. So one of the cars, the worst part is allegedly they were complaining about exhaust fumes going into the car. Okay. So, and I'm like, okay, they have issues, people rigging the cars, some officers doing things so they can get certain cars. It's not that many. Okay. And allegedly is exhaust that's leaking into the cars. So they took it upon themselves to kind of get on the officers in Dixmoor about falling asleep. And I said, falling asleep? All right. But in the car, y'all falling asleep in the car? Same car that may have exhaust fumes in that motherfucker? Huh? And then it was like, oh, so now they're going to penalize the officers for having dysfunctional vehicles, equipment. It's more. We're going to do it special because I'm going to be doing a complaint to OSHA because I do have, the right to do that as a citizen. It's getting worse and worse, the things that I'm hearing from these different entities. And because I can't bring it like truth to power with paperwork, the best thing I can do is snitch. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So it's 2 sides to this. That's probably why some of these officers dysfunctional like her. Her ass may have some carbon monoxide poison. Now I'm just playing, I'm cracking jokes, but stress level, things like that. Her behavior, that officer, it was not becoming. It was dangerous. And I really think that this has to be addressed. So I will hope the next meeting that this will be brought up because I'm not the only one who saw that video. That thing went viral on TikTok. Okay, so this is one of the things too. Now here you have Ryan talking about, this is just to finish off the allegedly. You have Ryan talking about them ticketing people out the kazoo. So allegedly it is brought to officers' attention that they have to ticket. You know how that go in Dixmoor. And they don't care about the penalty. Just ticket, and see how many people will pay, and they'll deal with the bullshit on the backhand side. Okay? This is the tone of what's going on in the South Side. So I'm kind of wondering how a bridge between the community and the police is going to really happen when you have the people in authority moving hella funny. Okay, so what I told you was a lot of allegedly, but don't worry, I'm gonna follow up because when I follow up with paper and pen, just know it is some type of proof that's there, and we're gonna try to pull it up. So I thought that was really good to share. Shout out to Ryan, y'all can watch that. I know a lot of you guys go through that ticket stuff. I'm not the only one because they was doing that in Jersey, and they was doing it out here. And they doing it down there to y'all. So y'all have to talk to them about that also because it was the ordinance about cameras. Do y'all remember? See, I've been skimming the meetings, but I remember them talking about an ordinance about cameras. you know, and setting up cameras around. So that is not going to be just for safety. That's going to be for ticketing. Remember that. Remember that. Nobody's late. Y'all can always replay. Thank you for being here. It says, I don't like driving through Harvey, South Highland, or Dolton. They just as if not more aggressive than Chicago police. Thank you for sharing, because I believe it. And that's why when I came up there, my ass was creeping. I mean, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? No, they ain't got no type of behavior. So before we get into the case, what we're going to do is just let me put on the screen the cases that was pending real quick, and I'm going to give y'all a brief synopsis of what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days, because I have to break it down in at least 3 videos, because it'll be just too overwhelming and ridiculous if I read over everything about these cases. But I have, so that's the good part. I got the summary already together. But we're going to show you the cases. Oh, is this it? Not Lacey's place. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Thank you for being here, guys. I just want to make sure that I have all of the cases up. Here we go. Some of them. And we're going to read them to you, some of you. Okay. So you see these on the screen. These are some of the pending cases that Dolton still have. As you know, in the past, I asked for information related to cases that was settled. And what we found out that in 2024, they settled about $500,000 in cases. But a lot of that money, more than half of it, went to the lawyer, just to let you know, because they were suing for their money. If you don't remember, when we had broke down all of the cases. If you don't know, we'll put it at the end of the description so you can see that video. So now we're giving you updates on some of the cases that are still pending. So what I have done is broke it down into 4 or 5 segments. So the first one is this Woody's, because Woody's, I would assume they're kind of going through the same thing what we're going to show you. You remember Woody's Barbecue, that's right across the street from Dolton's elected building. Let me make sure I'm saying it. Village of Dolton. Let's just put it on the screen too, because this is what I'm going to just kind of show you, because I'm thinking something is going on. And it looks like they got a plan for gentrification. We're going to show you. So right here, Woody's Barbecue, that was the one that was pending the lawsuit. We got an update about that. It's something we're going to read in detail. Gardner, that's Yvette Towing, if you don't remember. That is the location that burnt on down. We got an update about that because they're still fighting these cases. And we're going to... At that same time, we're going to do Woody's. We're going to do Yvette Towing with his Gardner. We're also going to do Ensign. If y'all don't remember, let me put Ensign back up there. Ensign hopefully is on this page. Did I get the? Here we go. Ensign Jr. If y'all remember, that place, is that the barbershop? That's the barbershop. So there's some motions in for that. We have that, and also Pablo's. Pablo's is pretty famous. Y'all remember when the news broadcast people got followed? And they ran down on Pablo's a lot of times. So we do got an update on that. We're going to be doing a part on that for you guys. So they're still pending. They got motions and hearings that have just came up. So we got time for it. The next one we're going to get into, this next set of cases is not going to be about business, but then it's going to be about worker discrimination. Okay, this is how much they have. So I had to get it in order. So the next, we're going to move on to workers discrimination. And you're going to see the Tracy versus... Thornton Township. We're going to go and give you an update on that one, as well as Williams versus a Village of Dolton. So I was kind of a little like taken back because I know these two were filed together, Johnson and Williams. So I was trying to wonder why Johnson was already filed, but Williams, just to give you a heads up, they are trying to continue to delay the case. They have a motion to dismiss, just like a lot of them, but I'm going to read them to you so you can see the grounds of them trying to dismiss. So what they're trying to do right now, in my opinion, is get as many cases off as possible that they can challenge. Some of the challenges I was reading today, I was like, these people have lost their damn mind. Either they trying to delay or they're trying to delay, because the arguments is a little weird. So with that, it'll be Tracy we're going to read. We're going to read a little bit of Williams. And today we're going to be doing Montgomery. Okay. So Montgomery also has to do with working for Dolton, Lacey Lewis, fines, and all types of stuff. So it goes in that category, but I said I'm going to switch it up. We also have Wiedemann case. Her case is not done yet. So they do have an update for that. It's far further up, just to give y'all a heads up because we don't have to read it. Wiedemann case, they will be looking for discovery in July 10th for Stephanie Wiedemann's case. Okay, so we're gonna keep our eye on that, where they're gonna bring whatever evidence they have. And then I just kept that in the Thornton Township type of lawsuits. If you look at Thrash, do you see that on the screen? Versus Thornton Township, as well as Lawrence versus Township. Thornton Township, look at the dates, they're pretty close and it's pretty similar. Those was the ones that was related to the school boards. So as I go over them in each section, we'll reference back to the video we already did so you guys could just get the bigger picture. We keeping up to what's going on, and we'll see if some of these cases get dismissed because they trying it. They really trying it. One of them is like, all right, we want to have a hearing. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but they say we want to have a hearing. But before we have a hearing for a possible settlement, go look at our motion to dismiss that was already put in months ago. Like, and obviously the judge ain't going to listen to it or even paying attention to it, but they still just trying, I think, to delay a little bit. And then we're going to finish off with the Jedediah and Redmond case, because probably after that point, hopefully they'll get an update or something like that pertaining to that. So that's what we got. We got it in order. Just be putting your notifications in. That's what we're going to be breaking down for you guys. All right. So we're also going to talk about the Reeves case and see how that works out for them. Remember the Reeves case? This is the case where the officers sued the village of Dolton because they hired cops that were not fit for the position. Point blank, period. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got the right one. So we're going to put that case just to remind you, because that's actually what got us in a position, or got them babies in a position going through this shit. The young boy, I mean, if that was my son, I'd be so fucking pissed. Excuse my language. I know the mother of that child that put his hands up to her and told her, chill, better go up there and speak up peace, because this right here, she got to go. And I was hoping, I got an update too. I was hoping that this was S. Hobson, but it's not. Okay? It's not S. Hobson. My update for you guys is just prior. It's just be so perfect timing. I got some answers to some of my freedom of information requests. So not only do I have the body cam of S. Hobson of the time of Alexis Wilson's untimely death, that is the officer that did not intervene, the female officer. We're going to be going into that most likely probably the 27th, or every 27th we talk about Alexis. So we're going to show what that woman cop did not do. Okay. And we're going to compare her to her, because hopefully by that time we'll get some news or something about Miss Clark over here, Officer Clark, doing bad. All right. So we did get that from the village of Dolton. Also, I do want to just highlight, this is some information. I'm going to fall back from Krigley just a second, okay? I'm going to fall back from the crackhead because from what they showed me, after I got the bulldogs on them, Krigley did not receive any checks as a contractor. Okay, that's what I was looking for, any contractor money that he received under his business entities. And allegedly, according to the Freedom Information Request right now, he did not. They did send me his compensation for work, and he is a little broke. He don't make a lot of money. You barely make $700 every 2 weeks, 8 with all them damn kids. So I'm gonna just let Krigley let his ass sit in the motherfucking corner, waiting for the FBI to subpoena him. Okay, so that was an update because I was waiting for that on Krigley, but we do have some more updates for you guys. Okay, we do. So the shout out to Dolton Freedom of Information Officer. They was working this weekend because they hit me up. I told you I ain't heard nothing back. For some apparent reason, it was going dead. And after we made our live, sometimes you just got to tell the truth. Something happening. So we still got like 4 or 5, 4 still pending, and I still have some other things to send in because we need to figure out what's going on. So just remember with the Reeves, this case is pending. We're gonna give you an update on later dates because nothing is going on right quick. I think they're looking to settle with this officer, and it may not be a lot. And it's basically he did not get the position he was supposed to get. They are the grades that the officer was supposed to get to pass was supposed to be like over like only 80%. And the person that they gave the job literally had 40% on their test. Okay. So remember, Miss Dum Dum was hiring dum dums. All right. So this is another case that's still pending. So I just wanted to bring that up because this is a direct reflection on what they have to clean up. It's no game. Court cases and bad cops. Okay. Now, let's get to this map real quick. Now, I just want to show y'all. Y'all let me know this because we about to get to the case. Do y'all think something going on like gentrification? I'm trying to tell you. Now, what you see here is Dolton Hall. You have Dolton Hall up here, Village of Dolton. The next dot that you see up here is actually 14127 Dr. Martin Luther King, which used to be Woody's barbecue hut. That was directly across the street. Now we read that to you. We're not going to go over it tonight, but we will. But then I want you to look at Wilma's famous barbecue, because Wilma's famous barbecue is about 11 minutes away, and she's down here. Now there's one more location that I did not pull up, but I know it's within these block radius, and the residents of Dolton can verify where was the vet towing. Because what I'm thinking is this whole area is the plan to gentrify. This is what I'm thinking, especially since you got the lake, you got this lakefront. I know is this the one that they that is privately owned already? So I think that lakefront and the people who own that lakefront, we're gonna start looking at them. I'm gonna look at their names, because if their names have connection to names people who are investing in Dolton, y'all may want to be leery, because that right there is a prime property. This lake could have been making y'all a lot of money for Dolton if it wasn't privatized. And I remember it was told that they went through some type of lawsuit trying to get it back because it was sold too cheap, a bunch of stuff. And these people don't even let the residents actually come in and enjoy this. So I don't know if I'm overthinking, but I know I've been watching Dolton for a while and I'm overanalyzing. And I'm like, yo, I had an idea that they was trying to clear this block, especially the downtown Dolton, and revitalize allegedly, but they have to revitalize it with the residents as well, giving them opportunity to start businesses and don't blackball them. So this was just weird, because now we're going to look at Wilma's famous barbecue. So if anybody know Wilma's famous barbecue, y'all can let me know about it, because this lawsuit was just filed last month. I was like, oh snap. Y'all remember me last live. I was like, oh, what's that? I got Big Woods document up too. So bear with me. Thank you for being here. We're going to try to get through the broadcast pretty smoothly. You know, not ride it like a donkey. You know how I do. I ride it like a donkey. Guess what I did today? I rode a horse for the first time in my life. That's why I got my beautiful shirt on, my son design here, customized. I was out there riding like a stallion. I had fun. Got my butt out the house. So here we go. Now, this is Wilma's famous barbecue. So this is the location. I just was like looking at it. This is their website. Stop it. I believe this is the one. Why are they doing this to me? I just want to look at the menu. All right. He like, yo, they like pick up everything. So they got ribs, hot links, chicken tips. Turkey links. I like turkey links, y'all. Let me just look. Y'all know I like turkey. I go down there. Hopefully they keep this business together. So what we're going to do is get into the filing real quick. I wanted to show you the restaurant. I also wanted to show you the location. I'm thinking like this was an orchestrated, hit to take out mom and pop businesses that's within these certain block radiuses. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying the new administration is doing that. I think that was what Tiffany plan was, to be honest, selling it out to these development companies. So that's why I tell you guys, y'all got to pay attention to the development companies that's out there, because y'all saying yes and they second and stuff. Wait, they saying names. We don't know them. Shit, they better put out the agenda early and put these names and let me do some research for y'all. All right. So this was filed 4/23/2025, a month ago to the date. Okay. So it is Wilma's Food Group Inc., Wilma's Famous Barbecue, Illinois Corporation, Wilma's Jamaican Jerk LLC versus Village of Dolton. All right, so we're gonna get down into, we know, the parties, other relevant actors. Who else is involved in this? Let's see who's involved in this. Okay, we already know short arm Lacey ass is involved. This is the Village of Dolton Police Department. Yeah, those, and it's just like all fits into the puzzle. So these are the other people that are within this claim. So the Village of Police, Dolton Police Department, not just the Village of Dolton. Okay, is the local police department for the Village of Dolton operating under the jurisdiction during the relevant period. Lacey Lewis was the deputy chief of the police of DPD. The village hearing officer acts as a personal attorney to Henyard and was appointed by the village hearing officer for the relevant processes in the matter. Now, I would believe that had to do with citations, okay? Because that's the way we're telling them. Just give them tickets, like, because they ain't going to want to fight. Just give them tickets, and then if they fight, we'll deal with the shit on the back end. We'll just go and get the money. How about that? So the village attorney, was the attorney for the village during this time. Kamal Woods is named in this. Now we freestyling because I was doing a lot of reading today, so I actually didn't read this case. I just summed it up a little bit. So I'll probably be surprised at some of this shit in there. Keith Freeman is involved. Jason Rogers, a plaintiff principal and the son of former village mayor Raleigh Rogers. Oh, where did this happen? Mayor Raleigh Rogers is the former mayor of the village, and he's named in this too. Wait, is Tiffany Henyard named in this? Let's keep reading this because I know her. Yeah, her name is in this. Just want to make sure. I'm like, Raleigh Rogers. Damn, this get deep. Southside connections. How Raleigh Rogers still named this? That's ridiculous. All right, let's get to it. These are the parties, other relevant actors. We went into it. Shocked me. This is the allegation. Okay. Chief Robert Collins was the police of the DPD prior to Lacey. Upon information and belief, Chief Robert Collins did not pursue or enforce Henyard retaliatory motives against her political rivals and was terminated for that reason. So he's trying to keep Collins out of it, like, because Collins got a lawsuit. You remember that? Oh, Collins lawsuit too. We got more. I got another list that's under Cook County. So what I showed you was the list that was under Pacer. There's some outstanding case in Cook County, y'all. So I ain't doing 100% tonight, but definitely Collins' case is still pending as well, and there's a few more. I ain't want to overwhelm y'all, okay? You know what it is. It's too much. So upon information and belief, Chief Robert Collins did not pursue or enforce, as they just said, Henyard retaliatory movements against her political rivals. Following Chief Robert Collins' termination, Henyard installed Lacey as the intermittent police chief for the village of Dolton. For the village, upon information and belief, Lacey took direct orders from Henyard as to how he should carry out his duties and act as police chief, as well as what businesses Lacey would prosecute and unduly exert police presence over. Now, this is what I do want to say. I just got to add this because we be learning law here too, because I got to put some real law facts in here. Some of the defects that they're trying to get cases dismissed on is because claims like this. They're saying, like in this sentence, upon information and belief, Lacey took direct order from Henyard as how he should carry out his duties as acting police chief, as well as what business Lacey should prosecute and unduly exert a police presence over. If he don't have any paperwork, email, or anything suggesting that, like a third-party witness, this is where they're coming in and trying to go for dismissals. You see what I'm saying? I just had to highlight so y'all can know, because when we talk about these cases, I highlight some of the discrepancies, and I'll be like, oh, they messing up. So now that I'm going back and now I'm looking at these people filings to try to get dismissed, even though like some of it is really extreme what he's saying, but this is some of the bases. Like you can't just say this without having something. You got to make your claim as factual as possible. So Lacey's duty was to prosecute and unduly exert a police presence over Henyard political rivals and those who do not outwardly support or donate Henyard. Just to let y'all know, a factor that they can put in here is even if they don't have proof of the particular allegations, if they have other cases that the village of Dolton already settled that has the like or the same subject matter, they can use that as precedence. You see what I'm saying? It just has to be, you have to have some validity behind your claim. But this is what's happening. But I want you guys to pay attention because I'm noticing the way that Delgado, is Delgado? No. I gotta look. One of them still have Delgado name on it or in it, but I think he resigned on most of the cases. It's just a few of them that I think he still had his name on, and we're going to show you that. Lacey was responsible for directly other members of the DPD for carrying out Henyard's orders. Lacey and the DPD officers would then issue citations and violations to be prosecuted by the village attorney. Okay. Henyard will pass her orders to Lacey, who in turn will pass their orders to the DPD officers to carry out. The DPD officers who carried out Henyard directives were paid exorbitant amount of overtime. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. For carrying out their duties. What did we just show you? A couple of videos with the proof that officers got paid over $100,000. See, that claim right there is not fraudulent. He could just add the little, here you go the link, because they got paid over $100,000 to pull out guns on kids. Okay, I'm sorry. That lady made me mad. No woman is supposed to move like that. So I keep going back to that. She a mother probably. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. These people are not even human no more. So here we go. He has that right. They definitely got paid a lot of money. The village attorney would prosecute those citations and violations without introducing any or very little evidence that would be admissible in a non-administrative setting. And any evidence the village attorney introduced would be wholly, cursorily, or based on hearsay evidence, such as no meaningful cross-examine could be affluent to dissolve the hearsay evidence to that would complete the lack of foundation. Now, this is basically what he's saying, what they were saying before. You remember with the Pablo's, where they were, hold up, what was it? Was it Pablo's? They were running down. Yeah, it was Pablo's. That was one of the things they were trying to charge Pablo's with all of this disturbance and things that he did not do, and fights people were having because they were drunk, but they were baseless and they were hearsay from the police. And what they're saying, I'm giving you an example. Since all those police, they had like 5 to 10 police statements, but they never had formal reports to back it up. So that will keep it under hearsay. And then those officers wasn't there at the hearing to cross-examine. Does that make sense? That's why hearsay evidence is not good. But because you have Delgado and his man running these liquor license and administrative hearings in Dolton at one point, he said the evidence that they bringing in wouldn't basically stand foot in a real court. Does that make sense? I just had to break that down because that's what's happening. Then that's ridiculous. Hearsay. Okay? Hearsay. All right. So the hearing officer would preside over the hearing prosecution of the village attorney, allowing substantial hearsay evidence to be admitted and rule in the favor of the village, regardless of what evidence was admitted and considered. Got to reflect back on Pablo's. They said it. Basically, the hearing officer said, if we don't take the officer's report for face value, then we basically calling the officers a liar. That was in the Pablo's case. And that's why they wouldn't give a license to them, because they well, the officers can't be lying, because if we side with you, no matter what, and that's what he's talking about. Does that make sense? This is pretty parallel to the same behavior, but I'm just trying to figure out why so long. This literally was filed last month. I don't know, was he trying to talk to the trustees, trying to figure out, give people time? But I'm kind of speculating, but this is basically the same type of ammunition. So the hearing officers will preside over, as we just talked about. Upon information on belief, the hearing officer role was to render a verdict in the favor of the village, regardless of the evidence elected at trial. For example, in a separate matter pursuing the village adult and hearing officers, I hope they're going to talk about what we just talked about. The defendant with witness not credible for the sole reason that the witness testimony contrasts with the testimony of the DPD officer. See, that's what we were just talking about, and underlining charging documents. Okay. So it says the hearing officer was previously served as Henyard's personal attorney, in fact, which he does not disclose the respondent in the hearing and the hearing officer. So he's referring to the case we were just talking about. He's referring to that case we were just talking about, and I don't know why he gotta name it. Okay. Wow. They're using the cases that is going through or actively happening as some premises for evidence. That's a little hard unless they actually get, the settlement and things like that. But it is a consistency, and we've been watching this live. So, everybody's seen what Tiffany been doing. So it says the hearing officer also had prior relationship with the village attorney. We talked about that. Once Williams discovered the hearing officer's conflict in interest, Williams filed a motion to substitute the hearing officer as judge in the below referenced disciplinary hearing, which the hearing officers declined. Village liquor license. Okay. So the village has a finite number of 11 CD liquor license. See village code. Okay, so that must be other cases related to the liquor license. Or the village has a finite number, so it must be 11 that they can give. Oh, based on the code, they only could give 11. WILMAS had a Class D liquor license since 2022 and has applied for the renewal April 2023. Upon information and belief during the relevant period, the village liquor license had all been issued, and such no CD license could be issued unless an existing CD9 license expire or renewal. So basically, they said they had enough, and he couldn't basically get a liquor license. So you Henyard and ammunition towards RR by the extension JR. I don't know what that means, but let's get down to it. Plaintiff principals is the son RR. RR was the incumbent mayor. Okay, this is Raleigh Rogers' son. So plaintiff Henyard ammunition towards Raleigh Rogers and by extension, J. Rogers. Okay, so she's saying that Henyard fell away against Raleigh Rogers. Plaintiff principal is the son, RR. RR has incumbent mayor of the village prior to Henyard election. RR and Henyard are no longer political rivals. They are no longer political rivals? In 2021, Henyard defeated RR in the Democrat primary. On the way to her success running, became the mayor of Dolton. Henyard and RR ran relatively consistent campaigns where personal and political anonymous ammunition was exhibited by each side. So they basically was throwing jabs at each other. But I wonder what this has to do with him. Prior to her election as mayor, as well, Henyard was still the Dolton Village trustee. RR, so that's Raleigh Roger, cast a tie-breaking vote to pass the ordinance to the removal of elected officials in Dolton and actively support the removal of Henyard. Oh my God, removal of Henyard as a trustee in 2016 by canvassing Dolton and collecting signatures on the petition for her removal. Y'all know why I'm saying, oh my God, because we just brought this up again, the last live, where this is the petition where y'all can get Stan, my man, and Andrew home the hell out. It's so crazy that they're bringing this up. You see how God is? Everything just come full circle right here. Wow. All right. Don't forget about that ordinance, y'all. Y'all need to go talk to them about that the next meeting. I'm snitching. Let's get them out of there. So Henyard has shown a particular retaliatory anonymous against. So she has is basically okay. I'm trying to say the word right. Y'all know I be having a heavy tongue. But she has when you feeling disdain against someone, but it's not Animosity. That's not what it animosity. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, I couldn't even get it out. Y'all know I got a heavy tongue sometimes. All right. So basically, retaliatory and I'm gonna call it disdain against JR, and evidenced by the notice below. Williams responsibly believed the notice is a target and overt form of retaliation by Henyard against William and JR. So this place, I think, is connected to Riley Rogers' son some way, somehow. And he's basically saying, because I'm trying to figure out why are they talking about the election, talking about the recall, like what does this have to do with the cup of tea? So they're trying to put together that retaliatory measures is taken against Wilma's because of her connection to JR, which is Riley Rogers' son. That's why she had to pull Riley Rogers in this and everything, because I was like, where the hell did this come from? Okay, Henyard has a history of retaliation. Henyard has a pattern of practicing and using her position as a mayor and liquor license commissioner to retaliate against her political rivals and businesses, individuals who do not contribute to her charity. A Dolton small business filed a lawsuit against Henyard, alleging Henyard violated the plaintiff's constitutional rights by refusing to renew the liquor license. So this is the Lacey's place he's referring to. And I would have think Pablo's too, because Pablo's, that's what we were talking about, but Lacey's place as well. Okay. And Lacey's place actually settled. Oh, that's why they just named Lacey Place, because Lacey's place settled. Do y'all remember? Look at it. Is it up? You see it? Lacey's place settled. Do you see what I'm talking about? I said a good thing to put into the lawsuit is the ones that settled. That one settled. Smart. Okay, so the complaint in this case alleges, among other things, upon information and belief that the underlying reason for the village of Dolton refusing to renew Lacey's Place liquor license is due to the mayor of Dolton refusing the new license to establish who did not support and contribute to a political party. So see, this is his evidence. We learning law here. Doesn't it make sense now? So somebody filed a lawsuit for you, you read it, make sure that it have all these parts to it. They did a good job here. So on November 27, 2023, it was reported that the Village of Dolton board meeting erupted into chaos and allegations of misspending and harassment by Henyard. Residents at the meeting stated that Henyard repeatedly harassed them for not supporting her, revoking their business license, and using the police force to do so. So that right there is discoverable evidence. He put the date, he put what they said, discoverable evidence. Henyard is facing other lawsuits and allegations surrounding an abuse of power and corruption. The reasonable public perception of Henyard is that she misused her office to retaliate against political oppositions and businesses that do not or will not support her. And it's good he wrote that like that, because it won't seem like it's just frivolous. Because one thing when you writing up, your complaint, you, like you said, you have to have some backup to it, but then it can't come to a full conclusion without you having a backup. Like, this is what it is. So it's allegations surrounding the abuse of power and corruption is a reasonable public perception. He didn't say it is a public perception that This is what I'm telling you, because this is how they got some of them other cases that we're going to read to y'all later on, kind of like looking at to be dismissed. I don't think it's going to work because one of the cases already refiled. Like, all you got to do, if you got a smart lawyer, is do an amendment and refile the complaint. And that's what one of them have done. So on April 26, 2023, William applied for a renewal of the CD liquor license and renewal of the business license. The village was relatively unresponsive to Wilma renewal application and did not take any immediate steps to approve the renewal or otherwise act on the renewal. Plaintiff principal spoke with representative from the village on numerous occasions after April 26, 2023. At each time, the village representatives state the license were under review. Need some proof. When the plaintiff principal spoke with the representative from the village, he was referred to the CD liquor license and business license Wilma and the business license jerk below. So it's some evidence that's coming in this that you'll see. When I say look below, it's the things that we're going to get to possibly. On May 11, 2024, plaintiff principal spoke with the village representative who identified themselves as Tory and stated the license was under review. Now I'm like, who is the village representative? You think they gave him a alias because they put quote unquote Tory, and told him it was under review and that someone will be called a plaintiff for a follow up on March 2024. Plaintiff principal emailed village writing, I spoke with the lady at the village by the name of Tori on the 11th of March in regards to my business license being issued. That's been on hold for quite some time now. And she said that someone from the village was supposed to call to tell me exactly what I needed to submit, but I have not heard from anyone. The village respond report, your inquiry has been received for processing and your document will be added to your profile in 24 to 72 hours. Thank you for your patience. So I hope that was an email form. So this section, it says Illinois Liquor Control Act permits qualified realtor license, which include restaurants, bars to provide carry out food and mixed drinks and single service of wine for off-premise consumption. So I was looking at that. It looked like a chicken shack to me. So I guess they kind of put it in there like, hey, I know it looked like a chicken shack, but it falls under the criteria. Okay, mixed drinks, food, restaurant, bar, whatever. I guess they put that in there because it do like a chicken shack. And it's not really normal for chicken shacks to sell liquor, but you know. Wilma's, but it's not. It's a barbecue jerk chicken place. Like even the Caribbean place by me don't sell liquor. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Williams is authorized under Illinois state law to serve to-go cocktails. During the summer 2023, the village began enforcing against allowing authorized businesses to sell to-go cocktails. Plaintiff principal reached out to the village for clarification on whether it would be prosecuting or facing disciplinary action for allowing to-go cocktails, but was never meaningfully responded to. Plaintiff principal also reached out to the village for letter to convert its state liquor license to a combo license, but village did not respond. Okay. Plaintiff principal reasonably believed that its request for the letter regarding combo license would be addressed once it submitted the renewal. Due to the village enforcement against the to-go cocktail, Wilma lost a significant amount of income from not being able to sell to-go cocktails. I didn't know that. Y'all, that's what y'all do out there? I didn't know you people to-go cocktail from a chicken shack. What y'all think? Is that a chicken shack? No, I don't know. This gonna make the news. I know what you're talking about. It's gonna make the news. Don't worry. They're gonna keep talking about it. They're gonna talk about that police. They're gonna do something else stupid. Don't worry about it. You did a good job. But I didn't know chicken shacks. They look like a chicken shack to me. Sell liquor. So let me not judge this place. They got a reason for a lawsuit, but I know y'all not trying to have people be like this pissy drunk all the time through Dolton. I think that was one of the issues they don't want, but you know, in Atlanta, there's a lot of places that sell liquor. So, you know, that is just based on preferences. Anyway, so here we go. On or about May 28th, 2023, EMS responded to a female that was passed out inside the premises due to diabetes. Okay. On about April 2nd, 2023, EMS was called because the male customer was possibly experiencing seizures. Okay, so I think they're bringing this up because allegations started to be brought against them. So number 63 said, here we go. On 62, this is what I skipped. On or around October 2023, Wilma was served with a notice of a hearing on revocation of non-renewal business license. The notice attached in Exhibit A. The notice is per se unlawful, and the allegations contained within it are purposefully exaggerated and not related to the operation of BBQ property. And that's the same thing that they did to Lacey's and Pablo's as well. Okay, so this is why he named these incidents. Basically, he was like, it was a seizure and diabetes. He said the notice was only signed by the housing director. The hearing officer presided over the notice. The village attorney was the law firm prosecuting the notice on behalf of the village. Wilma filed a motion to substitute the hearing attorney, as we talked about, and that was denied. Williams filed a motion to reconsider the ruling, which that was denied. Through the WILMAS zealous opposition to the notice included bringing to light the conflict of interest between the improper motive of Henyard's officers, and the village attorney. The village ultimately abandoned the notice without proceeding to the hearing, elected instead to refuse to act on the renewal of Williams' Class D liquor license. So they just said, we don't need no proceedings. That's it. You ain't getting shit. It get a little bit better though. It does. Okay. As December 1st, 2023, the village had failed to renew Wilma's Class D liquor license. Okay. On December 2023, Wilma filed a notice of appeal to the Illinois CC. So that's on a state level. Okay. For the village failure to renew the license from December 2023 to June 2024. Okay, this is why it was filed so late. She was waiting to hear back from the liquor commissioner because they can't file until they get, the findings of the people who investigate. And that's why I'm like, what took so long? It says the December 2023 through June 2024, the Illinois CC held monthly status calls in an attempt to identify the basis of Dolton commissioner the decision to deny the renewal of Wilma's retail license. The default judgment was eventually entered against the village for its failure to appear in the matter. They just never went. Nobody never came. So they kept rescheduling, and it kept being delayed. So on August 2nd, 2024, Dolton commissioner is hereby ordered to renew Wilma's retail liquor license. So my thing too, I got to say this. Now, y'all knew what was going on, trustees. I love y'all and the new mayor, but y'all knew it was issues with Pablo's, Lacey's, all about the liquor license. I know Tiffany had her hand on it and in charge of it, but I think that it was some way, somehow, y'all could have got some things moving about this, with this at least, because it took them a long ass time to file this. They just filed it last month. Do you see what I'm saying? In 2000. So this was something I think could have been addressed. I know they got a lot going on when they first go in, but this is part of mitigations because obviously he's been going back and forth, and they couldn't see that this was going to build up to be a lawsuit. Damn, this is long. This is a long ass reading. We're on page 10 and it's 19. He got all this to say. He number on Raleigh Rogers, talking about Raleigh Rogers' son. Like the hell, somebody named Tori that just worked there that don't, just making up people. I know some things can be handled, so I really think that this was a drop the ball. They probably dropped the ball on this. All right. So basically, the state said give them their license at this point. Okay. A default judgment was eventually entered against the village for failure to appear on August 2nd, 2024. Dolton Commission is hereby ordered to renew Wilma's retail liquor license. Henyard is or was the Dolton Commissioner during the relevant period. At the date of filing this complaint, Henyard had not renewed Williams CD Class D license. Okay. Upon information and belief, the village only sought to revoke or renew Williams' business license as opposed to the local liquor license in attempt to prevent Wilma from being able to file an appeal in the Illinois Liquor Control Commission. Okay, so yeah, they try to jam them up because to file your liquor with the state, you have to have an active business and how can I say register? So they tried not to register it so he wouldn't even be able to file it with the state. They is so sneaky. Upon information and belief, the village pursuant and revocation non-renewal of Wilma's business license was carried out by direction of Henyard, so Henyard could issue one of the village finite CD license to her associate Kamal Woods, who Henyard may have a romantic relationship with. Where did he get that from? Kamal Woods got a place? Or St. Patrick's? That's something else we waiting on. We waiting on some information about St. Patrick. What the hell Kamal owned that he needed a liquor license for? Can y'all tell me? Because we went over his businesses and none of them had to do with food or a restaurant. He think he can make clothes. So I'm thinking possibly St. Patrick's, but that's just allegedly. Upon information and belief, and during the relevant time period, Kamal Woods was or in developing a commercial real estate project that would require a CDL license. Upon information and belief, Henyard sought to not renew or revoke Wilma's business license and by extension the CD9 liquor license from the three reasons, all of which may. One, so Henyard could issue the CD liquor license to an entity owned or controlled by Kamal Woods in retaliation of Wilma's refusal to donate to Henyard mayoral campaign and JR being RR son. And three, so that Henyard could somehow profit from issuing one to the village finite members of Class D liquor license. So it's either going to go to Kamal or somebody else. That's what he was saying, that they basically did not renew theirs so they could give it to somebody. And you know, the biggest business that was coming was St. Patrick's. Moving forward, so this is the count. Violation of due process. That's pretty much, so that was all the background information. We're just going to tell you the counts real quick, and we're going to kind of sum this up, and it's going to be some of the same things. Let's just see if they wrote it up okay. All right. So, I mean, some of the same things from the other cases. They use kind of like not cookie cutter, but because the scenarios are so much the same as due process, Second Amendment, First Amendment, this same thing. Okay. No, Second Amendment is the gun. First Amendment is the speak. Williams restates the allegation that we just talked about. Okay. A license to do business constitutes the property's interest. William property interest in the business license, CD license, liquor license has been deprived without the due process, because you see what they said. They was like, fuck it, we ain't doing no more hearings with you. You're done. So that's where he didn't get due process. The village starts to revoke or renew Williams' business license based on abandoned that process once it faced sought opposition, thus depriving Williams of any appeal rights. After he started talking shit, going back, like I said, nope, we ain't doing it. Once the village abandoned prosecution of the notice, it ignored Williams entirely and refused to issue any license. Henyard defied the Illinois CC by ignoring their order to renew Williams' CDL license. And right there, that's where I think the trustees could have picked it up and took it through court. So this man wouldn't take you to court. Like, just filed it to make her enforce this, obviously, because you have the state already granting the judgment for you guys. So if I think the trustees would have just brought this in front of a judge, it would have grant Mayor Pro Tem House the right to sign off on a liquor license. I think this and the other issue that she was having with St. Patrick's would have really brought more to the table about getting control over the liquor license earlier. But that's just me talking, because this really is unnecessary. I'm just going to be honest. This is really freaking unnecessary. This is just like a repeat, but it's so new. That's just ridiculous. So such actions of the defendant violates Wilma's Fourth Amendment rights as protected. Okay. So the Illinois Constitution, persons shall be deprived of life, liberty, property without due process. We already know about that. The village and Henyard deprived Williams of the procedures due process rights by denying its access to meaningful administrative hearing. And they stated the case, the case that they already settled, that had Delgado and his friend running the hearing. Do you know anybody who got denied can come back and try to put a liability against them? I mean, if they have a real claim, because you have to show that you spent money, you lost, things like that. But people can do it, especially if Delgado and his friend was over all these damn hearings and picking and choosing who. Yeah, this was one of the things that I had mentioned a while ago that was a strategy for the trustees of Dolton to take on when they had those closed sessions to review risk factors for up and coming lawsuits. Okay, am I tripping? I said it. Now, it did probably slip through y'all fingers, but this right here, come on. That's why a clean house got a clean house, because there's still people in there obviously not telling them what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying? And I know as a trustee, they may not have all of the, how can I say, rights to each department, but fuck it. they could have freedom of information request like me. I'm just gonna be honest. You know why I say that? If y'all remember, there was a case out here in Georgia about the election board, and y'all probably don't know, but basically the counters out here, the people part of the election board, they wanted to be able to see the registration of the numbers to make sure that they can match it or something like that, and they would not give them access to it. And the person who had to bring them to court did a freedom of information request, and that was a person that worked for the board of the election board. And they couldn't get the information. So that's what I said. Like, they could have freedom of information request like me. Like, fuck it. We about to, y'all better do this or y'all gonna get sued. They could have did it. I'm just keeping it real. So some of this information I think could be prevented, but it's another lawsuit that they gotta settle. So it says Illinois recognized that the license to do business constitute for property interest that entitles the due process. See Pro Sport Bar and Grill, City of Country Club. This was a case. You see, this is a good filing. He did really good. Defendant has caused William damage to his reputation, lost business, lost income, lost profits, inconvenience, future procurement loss, and loss of license and subsequent damage. Okay. Williams lost significant income from the village in action. I gotta highlight in action because what I just broke down and just talked so much about, they could have took some action, and that's why we talk about this shit. So y'all go back and go get on it and fix this shit. So because of the village in action on providing a letter to convert Williams state liquor license into a combo license and prosecuted and threatened to prosecute the sale of to go alcohol at the BBQ property. So that's what it was. They started to threaten him and say, basically, if you sell, you're going to get some fines. Defendant action has and continue to irreparably tarnish Wilma's, I keep calling him William, Wilma's business reputation and goodwill. So I don't know how long they've been in, since 2022. All right, so let's move on to the next count. 2, equal protection violation. Defendant actions against Williams were irrational, politically motivated, and based on retaliatory dislike for plaintiff principle based on plaintiff principle retaliatory to RR and plaintiff's refusal to support Henyard's political campaign. This one right here, I'm gonna be honest, count 2, they're going to go for a dismissal for this one, because it's pretty hard for him to prove that they don't like him because of Raleigh Rogers' son. Like, it is kind of hard. I mean, but you're gonna put all the old videos, and somewhere you're gonna have to connect Raleigh Rogers' son to you. So this is probably gonna get thrown out in his face. So I'm gonna look at it later on to see what happens. But I think that this one, equal protection on what they arguing, they may gonna have to change it. I'm just gonna be honest. So let's move on. All right, petition for writ of mandamus. Okay, here defendant has the duty, responsible power, authority to approve and issue Wilma's business license and CD liquor license. Defendant has been ordered by the Illinois CC to issue Wilma's Class D liquor license, but has refused to order it. Okay. Without mandamus relief, Williams will be irreparably harmed. So they're asking for right now to help me out, get them to give my license right this second, because we already won it. It don't make no sense. So if the trustees and them got this, I would assume ain't House the new liquor commissioner. They're gonna have to do something with this. They're gonna have to do something with this. I don't know how they're gonna repair this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not totally comfortable with mom and pop places. I'm thinking it's looking like a mom and pop place. And if somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see, they do catering and things like that, but I'm not seeing nobody really sit in. They don't got pictures that's out there just giving people liquor to go, like cocktails. It's not a liquor store. So I do understand kind of, because that was one thing I was thinking about. Like, damn, Tiffany is kind of right. Like, you don't want a liquor store all the fuck over the hood. You see what I'm saying? But what she was choosing was her own. Like, allegedly some investment property that Kamal had. allegedly St. Patrick's, but I'm gonna shut the hell up. Let's just get to the end of this. We almost done. Thank you for being here. This was kind of like a long read. It was 19 pages, but they did a great job actually like breaking it down, connecting to the right case to show some, show some factual cases that already passed. So that's evidence of Henyard's behavior, retaliatory and things. They can cite a lot out of it. Violation of due process, and we already know what that is. Basically, this not going to be thrown out. If they did not follow up and have another hearing after they requested one and they just dropped the ball, yes, due process. Also, because of the bias with Delgado, that's probably why his ass just started dropping cases. Because he was just probably just doing anything. You see what I'm saying? Just taking on case things. And when he really started looking at it, he had too many biases, too many connections to different people. That means a lot when somebody notices it. Okay. I think I had an issue retaining a lawyer out here because I was looking to file a lawsuit against a hospital. And they were like, well, we deal with them and we deal with them. And it was bad. So with that goes to say, we have to keep that in mind, that this right here, that plays a part. And I think that he's going to win that. He's going to win on the basis that it was biased. Delgado and his partner denied it. It was malicious. It was intentional. They said it was willful. It was reckless. This is what they got here. They said the defendant actions was intentional, willful, and malicious and or reckless disregard for Jerk LLC rights. Okay? His civil rights. Now, the last part, that's the equal protection under the law. And he's talking, right here, I think this is going to be thrown out because they're talking about this situation is harming their business and their reputation. I don't see how. They have to show more facts behind that. Now, just because they can't give liquor to go doesn't mean that their reputation is messed up. I don't know if people going around saying, oh, that place dirty, that's why they not whatever. But this may be thrown out. Okay, I think this may be thrown out. So they're going to be going back and forth with this for a little while because this is the newly filed case. All right. So I think we broke it down enough of what's going on. This case right here, if it's any updates on this case, when we go over the Pablos and Ensom, we'll let you know. We're going to go over Pablos and Ensom in part 4 because this part 2. Part 3, we got something for part 3. The cases, we got something for part 4. Is that much? Is that detail? I want to say thank you for having the attention span for this and dealing with my hiccups, okay, with my heavy tongue. But I hope you guys got a good understanding of what's going on. We are living in deja vu right now in Dolton. They are really trying to change. I do believe it. I have a clip right here that I do want to show you guys. Let me pull it up because this is something that I'm looking forward to. Hold on one second because Kiana said it and you know I'm gonna hold you to it, girl. Where we at? This is Kim and Dolton. This is hold on one second. Give me one second. I'm just looking for the video. I have the video of basically Kiana saying that they're going to be doing an investigation on the police station. Bear with me, y'all. I thought I had that clip already up and put it up for y'all, but I do want y'all to know that I'm on it like kryptonite. I don't care who say it. Could be Brittany, Kiana, House. I'm going to hold y'all to the fire. 2 things you said, Kiana. You said that, well, 3 things. 1, you said that you was going to get the police audit. Obviously, the police needs to be audited in Dolton. I'm holding you to the fire, girl. You saw what happened. You have kids, and you may going to have grandbabies one day. And if that's your town, I know you don't want the police pulling out guns on your grandkids. So you definitely need to handle that. If y'all got the board together, I did hear that Kiana's part of the fire and police board. So I'm telling y'all, I'm on it. So I'm gonna be writing letters to Kiana. Like, hey, you the person now I need to talk to. Do you got this? Do you got this? I'm just keeping it 100%. I'm not going to stop because people are in positions. This is what I want to show y'all. This is the last thing I want to show y'all. People are noticing this, and it's so glad, and I'm gleeing. This is my last thing I'm saying. I'm really gleeing. And shout out to Doing Politics, but it is true. Someone said this. I'm gonna get down. They basically said when people talk about things other than Tiffany bashing, they seems to get hated on, as though the group is not allowing them to just to be free and speak their piece. Hold on, who on earth wants to buy? So this was one of the things that caused a little issue. I don't know if this is true, but it's allegedly that they're trying to put pressure on the board to buy the Pope's house. Now, I don't know how true is that, but people like, how the fuck they gonna buy a house when they can't pay the bills? That's what they saying. So they saying that type of stuff, and people not feeling that. But I don't know how true this is, where they could try to force somebody to purchase the house. But Dolton attorney invokes forced purchase of Pope Leo's home in letter, board yet to discuss it publicly. So we're gonna look to listen out to see what they do. They want $3 million for this. That little ass house. Okay. And this is what it says. Y'all want Dolton to purchase a house, but it's still potholes in the street. Now y'all got the police department looking bad, pointing weapons at unarmed kids. It's serious. Okay. But there was somebody here. I says I don't make a mistake. I'm gonna put the post in. Look at him. Look at him. Look. I like this video, y'all. This one made my day. I don't know if this is St. Patrick, but he sure enough was getting his ass down. I was like, go ahead, forehead. Oh, they was on a boat. Look at my ADHD. Look. That'd be me. Just start dancing. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is keep our eye on what's going on. I'm going to put that post where they kind of feeling some way in those in politics, basically saying, hey, do we really have freedom of speech? Now that we stop talking about Tiffany, we're talking about the other problems, people are taking it as straight blows to House and the trustees, but it's really not. It's really what's supposed to happen. Like, we really supposed to be on it like kryptonite, like y'all been supposed to be on it, and then help them out. Usually, obviously, they need help because they got a new damn lawsuit that I really think that they could have caught. I'm gonna be honest. This one was like a sitting duck. All right. So with that being said, we was on for an hour and 11 minutes. I want to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi tonight. We're going to keep it spicy. We have a lot to show you. Don't forget that the cases I showed you were only on PACER. There are many other cases that's in the Cook County courthouse that I still have to try to retrieve, and I've been looking, but I'll be getting summary. Remember the Gerald, because Thornton Township, we got to give y'all an update on Kamal Woods, his fake ass lawsuit. Don't forget, we're going to give y'all an update on our Aisha Gant lawsuit against pedo H with AH. Got that man sitting on that damn board. And we're going to keep pushing the narrative that a recall can't happen. They can't recall these two people out of position. And I think it'll be really easy. Y'all verify. I showed y'all a lot of information about it. So let's see if it start really buzzing. And I want to send a shout out to Taylor, if I'm saying your name right, I pray. Traylon. If I'm saying it right, please pronunciate it if I'm saying it wrong. Shout out to you for putting that video out on TikTok, showing what's going on right now. That was very dangerous. This is exactly how the officers feel and are reckless out there towards the residents. And those were children. So you know you ain't got no common sense if you gonna pull out a gun on a child. And I'm gonna say it like Tiffany. And you're black, and I'm a woman, and you a woman, and you're doing this shit. You're black, all right? And you a woman. You should be a damn shame to yourself. So Friday, what we're gonna be doing is hitting y'all with some information related to a Lexis case. Get ready. I did receive, to remind y'all, the body cam of S. Hobson. Officer S. Hobson was the female officer that did not intervene in the unaliving of Alexis. The good part about that, and it's not good, Officer S. Hobson is related to Cassandra. Yeah, I'm gonna rub that down the hole. Now I'm gonna really let y'all know deep South Side connections. If y'all did not see that talk through that I did, yes, Officer S. Hobson, who was at the scene of Alexis being unalive and did not intervene. She is the daughter of Cassandra Hobson, the lady who was running for mayor. That's how small it is. And guess what? I don't think she was trying to fix the police department. So I'm kind of glad she didn't get in, because she would have been like, fuck y'all. He did. I'm messing with her. With that goes to say, I love you guys. Please, if you will, I beg of you, please donate $4 for a butterfly. We will be purchasing butterfly in the next 20 days for Alexis butterfly release. And if you can, you purchase $4, you have your message. We will read it out loud, and we will be streaming here on Uncensored Enlightenment Talk here with Grace Levi. And I will be helping hosting the Alexis butterfly release. And hopefully by that time, we'll have some more good information, because what we are still pushing now, we're pushing Mayor House. I said it. We on your ass here. This officer has to get out. And now this motherfucking officer got to get out. How about that? So until then, you know what we're doing here. Let's put it on the screen. Let's get our exit out. Let's have some fun. Y'all know what Grace doing.
Guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. So, you guys doing a lot of snitching.
Don't let my snitching fool you. I love a good jam. And I'm S-I-N-G-L-E again. Outside hanging out the window with my wretched ass friends. Let's go!
Go, Karen.
Let's go!
Karen.
Public comment, and she'll just put her head down and she won't listen to anything. She won't acknowledge anything. You know, I've seen mothers of murdered children and people who've lost family members in Dolton. She'll put her head down and she will not even acknowledge that the person is there, because she doesn't like what they're saying. So after a few months of this,